Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another review. Today we'll be taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Direct Page Puncher 7-inch John Constantine. And before we get into it here, let's first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, old Johnny Boy does come with a collectible trading card, which is not unique to him. Sad face. I like showing off the different cards because, well, they're different. And in this Page Punchers line, as far as each wave is concerned anyways, every figure has the same card, so that kind of sucks. That said, there is some read up on the back that you can pause and read at your own leisure. I hope I'm holding this the right way. If not, oh well. Probably didn't care about that anyways. That said, since this is a Page Punchers line, he also comes with a comic book, which is a Black Adam-centric comic, and it's part 1 of 4, and there are 4 Page Punchers in this wave, and you only get part 1 with each figure. Yeah, I think in hindsight it would have been nice if each figure came with a different comic, especially if there's only 4 parts, instead of just getting a variant comic, which comes with all 4 figures. It's not like there's anything different between the comics amongst the 4 figures. It's literally the same comic, so that's kind of a bummer. But that said, I can't read, so it means nothing to me. And not because I'm stupid, it's because I can't see 2 feet in front of me. That said, he also comes with this awesome effect hand, which is something a little bit more useful, in my opinion. There's the hand on the back, very much like the Doctor Strange movie figures from the Marvel Legends line. Definitely see Todd taking some notes from that, because that is a good way to do that. And then he also comes with a book of the occult, complete with a pentagram on it. So let me get this straight. Todd gave us not 1, but 2 figures that have pentagrams within them, whether it's an accessory or literally carved into the chest of the character. Sabak, I'm looking at you. And Hasbro's all, we can't put out a Mephisto because nah, 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 nah. I call bullcrap. So, suck on that. And, you can pause and read at your own. I'm just kidding, there's nothing reading there. That said, that is unfortunately all that Johnny Boy comes with. I do wish he came with another one of these effect hands. That would be really sweet. But if they sculpted this in ZBrush, they could just flip it over and give a future John Constantine 2 of these, which I am all for. I like John Constantine, even though he's just a dude in street clothes. One of my favorite DC characters outside of, Batman, Dr. Fate, Etrigan, Deadman, Swamp Thing, not Superman, the works. So taking a closer look at Johnny Boy. Does also come with the trademark McFarlane Toys hockey puck display stand we are used to seeing with all McFarlane Toys figures. And I gotta tell you, even though this is a Page Punchers figure, it technically still is a DC Multiverse figure. And with that in mind, he is definitely going to be a contender for one of my top 10 Multiverse of the year, because I really like this figure. I think he came out great. His arms are maybe a little long, and I would have liked the trench coat to actually go down to the bottom of his legs. Typically, it is a bit longer than this, but this is obviously based off specific source material, so I'll let it slide, and I'm sure we'll get a longer trench coat version at some point. That said, you can't take this off, so that's kind of a bummer. You can't put a longer one on there. That said, my only other stupid nitpicky whatever thing with this figure is his one toe joint on this side is floppy as heck, and I'm going to need to do something about that, because that drives me nuts, because every time I stand him down, he's got pointy elf shoe going on, and it's kind of stupid. So other than that, I really like this figure, man. I've never had a Constantine before. Had the Mattel one in my hand, but didn't buy it, even though it was only $10, mostly because I didn't know who it was. And now that figure goes for like $70. Put that on the list of things I should have bought, along with a vintage Scareglow complete for $30 and a 10th anniversary Spawn for $50. You didn't hear that. And as far as articulation goes, he's got a double ball peg in the head that works pretty well. Tilts side to side, looks side to side, kind of looks like me with no glasses. And a 5 o'clock shadow. And superpowers. And a hot girlfriend, Zatanna, which we need a Zatanna, dang it. That said, his arms can go out to the side and go back down. I've seen someone put the Hush arms on this guy. It doesn't look too bad, but the color is off. So if that doesn't bother you, by all means. But it would probably bug me a little bit because that Hush figure's coat is like almost yellow. It's like baby barf yellow, and this guy's is literally tan. So if you're good with paint, I guess that's an option. That said, I wonder if his boots would work on this guy. Because that would fix my loose toe issue. But I think Hush's toe joints were both kind of loose. So, That said, he does have a bicep swivel that works. Does he have the... He does not have the ball joint up in there. So that's interesting. It's just a swivel. Because it's either really hindered or... Yeah, I guess it's just a swivel. Very interesting. He's got a double elbow. Not too bad. I mean, it's a jacket, so it's hard to cut that. Make it look good, so I'll give it a pass. He does have ball hinge wrists, though. And the wrists are really easy to pop off. That effect piece, though, you're going to want to heat that hand before you pop that on. That is kind of tough at first. He does have a torso joint, but I don't want to loosen it up. It's like perfect the way it is. I think he has a waist cut, too, but the jacket's pretty hindering to all of that, so I'm not even going to fuss with that. That said, his legs can kick forward far enough, I think. He doesn't need to be kicking people in the teeth or anything. He's a dude in street clothes. Kick back a little bit. They can do the splits pretty well, though. Nice tight joints up in there. That side, not so much, but the coat does kind of keep things locked into place, like the torso and the hips, so even if there was some looseness, it wouldn't really matter. He does have a thigh quiver, a little bit in there, not too bad. He does have a double knee, if I can talk. And because of the coat, it is hindered, but it's not too bad. Could be better up here and here, but it's alright. It's better than some. And again, it is clothing, and that's a little bit more tricky to cut on an action figure. That said, his knee is exposed on this side, which I didn't notice until this guy started hitting the promo images. I guess I just missed that. And of course, he has the ball hinge ankles, which are a little loose in the hinge forward and back, which if his toe joint on this side was tighter, that wouldn't really matter, because they do also rotate. It's got the rocker. Then the toe joint on this side's pretty solid in neutral. This one, you can see it's just kind of flopping around, so I'm going to have to do something about that. It's just way too loose for me. Maybe some of that Kiki stuff Evil Villain's been telling me about will fix that, but I don't know. That said, he does have peg holes at the bottom of the feet for the hockey puck display stand, which I may need to use because he has a tendency to flop because, again, the toe joint. But that said, solid figure, man. I do really like this guy. I think he's awesome. John Constantine is a really cool character once you get to know him. Legends of Tomorrow kind of made him because CW's kind of but as far as this figure is concerned, I do really like it. I think he's awesome. And I'm super happy to have a Constantine in my collection finally. I'm looking forward to putting him with the Swamp Thing we already got and the Dead Man that's coming out. I think we need an Etrigan and a comic book style Dr. Fate to work with these guys. But McFarlane Toys is definitely working on giving us a pretty solid Justice League Dark. I guess you could even throw that Frankenstein mega figure in the mix if you really wanted to. But again, we really need a Zatanna, and I think that's it. Was there another character, the Orchid? I think that would be another good one to have. But for now, we have Constantine, Swamp Thing, and Dead Man's coming. Those are the three main ones, I believe. Well, actually, Etrigan's pretty heavy. They're all pretty much heavy hitters as far as like B-list characters go. I don't know if you consider Constantine a C-list or what, but I really like the Justice League Dark, and I'm looking forward to having a complete team from McFarlane Toys because I think it'll look really freaking kick butt. So with that being said, before this review drags out any longer than it needs to, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. And unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot out to compare good old Johnny Boy here too, so as always, here are two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus of its spawn, who'd probably get along well with John Constantine, if I do say so myself. So, with that being said, time to wrap things up, some final thoughts. Overall, and aside from the one toe joint on my particular figure being a little bit too loose in neutral, I mean, this is just a guy in street clothes, so I don't really think the toe joints are necessary in the first place, but hey, if it wasn't loose on my figure, I'm sure I wouldn't complain about it anyway, so sue me, I guess. I do still really like this figure, and even though this is technically a Page Puncher's, it's technically a DC Multiverse figure, therefore it technically qualifies to be a contender on my top 10 DC Multiverse figures of the year list, which I could say wholeheartedly that good old John Constantine here is more than likely going to wind up on that list, because I'm a huge fan of Justice League Dark. It is my favorite DC Comics team, outside of the Bat family, of course. Gotta stay true to my Gotham City kidness. But yeah, I'm really stoked that we're getting more characters to build out this team. I'm looking forward to that Deadman. I think we could use a different Etrigan and Dr. Fate, and I'm all for a Zatanna and some other characters to help flesh out this team. I think this would be a really cool team to have on display, and it seems to be one that the Todd Father is very interested in completing at some point, despite the fact that he's not the biggest fan of female figures. I mean, can't blame him, but come on, Todd, we need a Zatanna. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you're so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when screw toe joints, dang it. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.